Hey, hello there. It's Jacob here from Firebrand, Astrology, Tarot and Healing, and I'm wearing my Superman t-shirt today because I'm Aries, and us Aries are the heroes, and the world fucking needs heroes at the moment. Okay, there's a lot going on at the moment. We've had the far right in Austria nullify an election result because they lost by a few thousand votes for the presidency. We've had here in the UK the EU vote, which has divided the country, has thrown our political system into disarray. The Prime Minister has resigned. The leader of the opposition has resigned. The person who led the campaign to leave the EU has disappeared. There was no backup plan, so they held a referendum to leave the EU with no plan on leaving the EU if the vote was yes. The vote was yes, even though not everybody voted. And racism and xenophobia has really increased over the last week or so, with people believing that by voting to leave the EU, the racists and the xenophobes believe that people are racist and xenophobic, and believe a racist and xenophobic agenda that was used to encourage people to vote to leave the EU because of immigration. And they have similar issues in America. Now, this is all Mars in Scorpio, obviously, bringing stuff up, and it's also Pluto in Capricorn bringing stuff up. And with now the Mercury and the Sun and Venus all in Cancer, and a Cancer new moon brewing as well. Interesting. So we have a lot going on. Okay, so Monday the 4th of July, happy Independence Day, America. You are obviously ruled by Cancer, and you have a new moon on Independence Day, so this really is a day really for you to set intentions about the direction you want your country to go in the future in regards to the road it's heading down. We have, thank God, we have the grand square has dissipated a lot. We do have a square between Venus and Uranus on Monday, but it will be a short-term one because things move quite quickly. So there's tensions there between nurturing ourselves and nurturing our families, nurturing our sense of home, fighting our sense of self and our identity, which really is ironic when it's happening on American Independence Day. Especially for America, this is a really important day. I think you are having a crisis of who you are in terms of identity as a country, and what home means to you, what America means, what the American homeland means to you. So it's a huge crisis for you in respect to that. I would imagine this week we'll see this in the news very much in America about what your identity is, who you are, blah blah blah. We have Pisces energy still, we still have the opposition between the North Node and Jupiter and the South Node and Neptune in Pisces. It's still reality versus the illusion going on. This is where on some levels you can have like the practicality of life, the day-to-day life, the routine, the structure and getting on with things, and the healing versus spirituality, the religion and stuff like that. And this is very much into play into what's going on, on the world stage in regard to kind of religion playing a role in a lot of what's going on in the world and its identity and between the illusion and reality of things and stuff like that. And on the 4th of July as well, we have the moon and Mercury and the sun all opposing Pluto. So again, you see, this is where government and structure and organizations come on. So, again, you're going to see tensions, especially in America. We'll probably see tensions here in the UK as well between the government and the people, and the sense of home and everything. There's a lot of tension coming up. You have to remember, all this is coming up to be healed. It's all showing us something. Do we go down the path that we've been down before that caused the Second World War? Do we go down the right-wing agenda where all of the problems are blamed on the immigrants, on the minorities? It's not the immigrants, it's the gay community, it's for gypsies, it's for free thinkers, it's for communists, it's for trade unionists. It's all these people are to blame for what's going on. Are we going to go down that same old route again and hold them culpable for problems in the world? Or are we going to see the reality of the situation which Pluto wants us to, by going through Capricorn, saying it's the corporations, it's the businesses, it's the wealthiest 1%, the wealthiest 10% that are behind all of this, and causing these divisions. Do we kind of wake up and see that, or do we go down the old path again of blaming them? On Tuesday, we still have the kind of Mercury Sun conjunction in Cancer. We have Venus moving towards the end of Cancer, 21 degrees, and we have the Moon still in Cancer, 25 degrees. We have still a square between the Cancer energy and the Uranus energy, so it's going to go on for the whole of the week. There's going to be very much this week, as I said before, about sense of identity, sense of homeland, a sense of identity, a sense of where we're heading. With Pluto being there, it's uncovering all the stuff that needs to be healed in regards to that. What does home mean to us and all that? What does our homeland mean to us? What does our country mean to us? What does our nation mean to us? What is our identity? And don't forget, we've got Saturn there in Sagittarius, which is all about, foreign things, foreign people, foreign lands, education, that kind of thing. It's in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter's currently in Virgo, which is a sign of healing and the sign of grounding, and also the sign of practicality and routine and getting on with things. So really there's a sense of healing that needs to happen. Wednesday, we have the moon going into Leo, so things are probably going to get a little bit dramatic. People are going to want to be dramatic and dramatize things, go out and have fun as well, let loose, kind of be a bit over the top. We have, we have Venus at 22 degrees of Cancer. Venus is now 8 degrees ahead of the Sun, so Venus is moving further and further and further ahead of the Sun. We really need to be putting our love forward, putting our love into the future, putting it out there, for things to happen. Mercury is catching up the Sun as well, which means Mercury is going to start to go ahead of the Sun, and our thoughts need to be forward thinking and moving ahead, because we're out of that period now. Mars is direct as well. Mars has gone direct, so Mars has gone through Scorpio, retrograde, uncovered all this stuff. Now it's moving forward through Scorpio. So we're still going to be focused on, in some respects, revenge and the dark side of the Scorpio energy of all this coming out. People, the anger and the resentment that people hold of the problems. And this is Scorpio, the 8th house, money as well. So this is where money and the income and the economy and all of this is all tied into people's anger about who is to blame for all of this that's going on. You know, there's a lot of this, and maybe in personal day-to-day life as well. We're looking for who to blame, anger, revenge, how to get back at people, the intensity of it all. We're going to be able to move forward with that now, you know. On Thursday, the moon is in Leo, and Leo makes a nice trine across the Uranus, so it will put some nice emotional energy into being a little bit more innovative to things, a bit more fire into the picture, because we've got a lot of water going on at the moment, a lot of emotions, and water and a lot of earth as well. Earth and water make mud, so things are a bit muddy and dirty. You know, we need a bit of fire to dry things out a little bit. And that's it really. On Friday we see Venus square Uranus completely at 25 degrees. We see the moon going to Virgo, so the moon is going to cross over the North Node and Jupiter, which will allow us to put some emotional energy and feeling into the healing work that we've done, and people will start to get emotional about the reality of things and the reality of life, you know. Obviously the moon is going to oppose all the Pisces energy, which is going to cause us to kind of look at the feelings between reality and illusion, the practicalities of life and spirituality. You know, are all these religious beliefs practical today on the earth? You know, so you know, religion is going through this whole thing at the moment of how it sees things. You know, especially the LGBT issue and a whole range of other things. Is that practical in today's life? In 2016, yeah, is it practical and realistic to hold these points of view in today's society? All of this is in the mix of what's going on, and obviously it's trining across to Pluto. The Virgo energy is trining across to Pluto, saying that this needs to be healed, you know, and where government and corporations come in, and the way the economy is run as well. You know, as we head into the weekend, we have a water trine going on between Mars and the Sun and Mercury and Venus in Cancer, which goes across to Chiron in Pisces. This is in place, probably we'll start to feel it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is good because Chiron is about healing. You know, so I think by the time we get to the weekend, we will really be able to start to look at healing and all this stuff that's come up over the last couple of weeks. Being able to put some energy into actually healing it and moving forward and finding a way to move forward and a way to get through all this. But we've got the Sun, Mercury, and Venus all in Cancer. And Mercury moves ahead of the Sun as well now. So, you know, by sort of Thursday, Friday, Mercury's moved ahead of the Sun. Now Mercury's moving ahead of the Sun and beginning to catch up Venus. Okay, so this means we're preparing for another Mercury retrograde, because as soon as Mercury goes ahead of the Sun, that means it's going to go backwards at some point. So we also have the kind of all of this going on. By the time we get to Sunday, we have the moon in Libra looking to balance all of this energy out. We still have a grand water trine in place about being able to harness the Cancer, the Pisces, and the Scorpio energy together. So the intensity of Scorpio, to put some intensity and passion into the healing process. The spiritual, dreamy, poetic side of Pisces, to put that into the mix, and the nurturing, sensitive side of Cancer, to put that and combine all that really to push things forward a little bit. This reading will be a bit longer because we are in very interesting times, and in honour of In honour of Mars moving direct, I'm also going to pull a card from the Gods and Titans deck as well. Zeus, okay, Zeus, leadership. So what was the saying is, what this is telling me is you got your American election coming up. We've got an election in Australia on this Sunday before we're even happening. We have the election in Australia being called to question. We have a leadership election in the UK for the leader of the Conservative Party to be Prime Minister. We're going to have probably a leadership election for the leader of the opposition party in the UK. So it's really calling us to put our collective energy and our focus into leadership and the leaders that we want, who are going to lead from the heart with their best intentions for the collective consciousness of the planet and for the good of humanity. We need to be directing our energy into the right leaders being chosen to take us forward through this period. So that is critical, especially for you in America on July the 4th. You know, you need to really put that energy out there on your new moon, on your Independence Day, on the new moon. In Cancer, when you are ruled by Cancer, what more signs do you need? You really need to put some positive energy into who leads your fucking country and takes you forward into the future or back into the dark ages. Sorry to be blunt, but you know. Okay, so we have here Seven of Swords, the Chariot, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Chariot is about moving forward, driving forward with the two sides, you know, the dark and the light. You know, and this is the journey of moving forward, okay? Now the swords here is fears, okay? We've got to let go. You have to let go of the fears of other people trying to take things away from you, the fear that you know, certain individuals are to blame for what's going on, where the right individuals need to be blamed, not the wrong individuals, and holding on to fear and resentment and anger and all of this. And this is very much linked into Mars moving out of Scorpio, moving forwards out of Scorpio into Sagittarius, still in shadow period, still going over all of the fucking crap and all of that, you know. We need to let go of it, you know. We need to let go of that, and we need to focus our energies on the people who are responsible for the situation this planet is. And as I said, Zeus, the leadership, we need to pick the right leaders. You know, we've got here the Chariot, which is the moving forward, the energy, the direction, and of course it's Cancer. See, Cancer, the Cancer hat there. Again, bringing it back to the new moon and the Cancer energy with the Sun, Venus, and Mercury all going through Cancer. Is to put that love and that nurturing energy into someone who's going to love and nurture the planet, love and nurture the way that we're going into the future. Here, the Ten of Cups, the ultimate goal for, you know, for humanity, the happiness of humanity as a global family. You know, I'm not looking at this family in terms of a heterosexist or heterosexual point of view. This is a heterosexual couple. But this is the global idea, the global picture, the global family, the humanity, the family of humanity, the humanity family, humankind as a family, of all of us as brothers and sisters, and looking at this critical time in our history of what's going on in the world, of where we place our faith in our leaders and our trust in our leaders and ourselves, how we lead ourselves, how we lead our communities, how we nurture ourselves, how we nurture each other, letting go of the anger and the resentment and all of the crap of the past, So it is that was quite an intense reading, I feel, because it's been quite intense time. It's been 20 minutes, so that's enough. Superman, we have to be our own superheroes and superheroes for the planet. Thank you. I love you.